Hello? Diesel here? Diesel here. Detective Diesel here.
Listen carefully, Diesel, and put your shoes back on. I want to discuss basic intersection control. And to give you a bird's eye view of how all this works, come up to the 20th floor observation deck of the big building right behind you.
20th floor observation deck. Check. I'll take the stairs to ensure no one recognizes me on the elevator.
It's 20 floors up, and we don't have all day. Just use the elevator, Diesel. I doubt anybody will be paying attention.
I took the stairs.
I told you so, Diesel. Oh, well, down to business. What do you know about basic intersection control?
I thought intersections were controlled by things like stoplights, policemen, and, as of late, video cameras.
That's true, but professional drivers must rely on themselves to make intersections safe. Last year, almost half of all road accidents happened at intersections. A large percentage of all fatal crashes happened at intersections with no signals.
Wow, those aren't good odds. That makes intersections particularly dicey for professional drivers.
Dicey? I'd say challenging is a better word, which is why we're talking about intersections today. Now look down on the intersection below us and tell me what you see.
I'm looking, but what am I looking for?
Look at that tractor-trailer approaching the intersection now. He's signaling to make a right turn, but there's a bicycle messenger right beside him, probably in his blind spot.
Yes, I see it. What does the driver need to do? Can't the professional driver just honk his horn so the messenger will get out of his way?
Use these binoculars and get a good look at the messenger. He's listening to his headphones, so he probably won't hear the horn. We hope he'll see the right turn signal.
Here's a question for you. When should you begin signaling that you are going to turn right?
Good question, Diesel. You should begin signaling at least 100 feet in advance of your turn, although some car drivers don't always do this.
Yeah, I've noticed. So, after signaling, what's next?
As you approach the corner, never coast to a stop. Always be in gear. But remember, check the mirrors appropriately before changing lane position. Sometimes a driver must skip shift when going from a high-speed highway to an exit ramp situation to a stop in a short distance.
What's skip shifting?
Well, that's not using every gear in sequence to reach a lower gear, from 9th to 7th, for example.
Okay, I see that. What else?
Move only as far from the curb of the right-hand lane as necessary, around 4 feet. This prevents other vehicles from getting between the trailer and the curb, and also allows for the trailer's off-tracking or drift.
And by drift, you mean?
The amount of space your trailer moves out of the tracking of your tractor's wheels.
What?
Here's what I mean by drift. See how the trailer's wheels move out of the tracking of the tractor's wheels? Does that make it clear?
Yep, sure does. Now I get your drift. Get it? Drift?
Okay, Diesel, so you've moved about 4 feet from the right-hand curb, and this distance should keep the vehicles behind you from trying to pull in between the trailer and the curb.
Makes sense.
And the whole time, you're keeping an eye out for other vehicles by conducting a visual search. Look straight ahead, to the left, to the right, to the left, and straight ahead again before you enter an intersection, even if you have the right of way.
Got it.
Great. Now let's watch this rig about to make a right-hand turn. Notice he's pulled his tractor into the intersection far enough so his trailer wheels will clear the curb. See that? He's watching his trailer in his mirror to make sure it is not running over the curb or so far from the curb that it allows another driver to slip in between the trailer and the curb.
How do you know what you're looking at? Can you see that from way up here?
Use your binoculars and focus on the driver.
Wow! I can see his face while he's looking in the mirror and doing his visual search.
That's how professional drivers make a right-hand turn. And as soon as they can, they steer their rig into the right-hand lane. This type of turn is called a button hook. Let's look at it again from overhead.
Okay, but what about the road hogs that swing into another lane or oncoming traffic, making a very wide turn?
Oh, that's what we call a jug handle turn. The truck moves from the right lane to the left before making the turn. Moving to the left causes confusion for drivers behind the truck and also creates an opportunity for a vehicle to slip in between the truck and the curb, as we have already mentioned. Those kinds of turns can cause potentially dangerous accidents and are against the law.
So you're saying, just say no to jugs.
Diesel, get serious. Now look down again at what kinds of traffic are moving through that intersection.
I see a red car, a blue van, a young couple holding hands, oh yeah, and a couple of bicycles. Well, let's go down and get a closer look.
It is important to pay attention to pedestrians, bicycles, and motorcycle traffic in intersections because runners, walkers, and cyclists often sneak into your blind spot when you're not expecting it. They may not be paying attention to their surroundings either. Here's a tough one, Diesel. When you're driving a rig, are you only going to make right-hand turns?
Well, I am right-handed.
You're missing the point. There are many types of intersections, by the way. Let's look at a few. There are two-lane one-way stop, two-lane two-way stop, two-lane four-way stop, and four-lane four-way stop intersections, to name a few.
Gotcha! I can be ambidextrous too!
So let's talk about left-hand turns. First, signal your intention to turn left at least 100 feet in advance of the intersection. Then do a visual search, front, left, right, left, front. Begin your turn only when the oncoming traffic will not affect your turn.
Isn't that a no-brainer?
Your case is an exception, Diesel. Some drivers assume oncoming traffic will yield to a big rig, but countless accidents have proven otherwise.
And when you assume...
Exactly. But listen up. Make sure one of the things you learned today is this. A professional driver never makes a left-hand turn in front of traffic unless he is sure there is adequate time to make the turn. It is never a good idea to put your rig in front of someone who has the right-of-way. Now tell me what you just learned about left-hand turns.
Okay, let's see. Number 1. Signal my intention to turn at least 100 feet ahead of the intersection. Number 2. Do a visual search before entering the intersection and turn only when the oncoming traffic will not affect your turn. Number 3. Be aware of pedestrians, bikers, or small cars in the blind spots. Number 4. Keep your speed under control. Number 5. Drive into the intersection as far as possible before starting your turn. Number 6. Remember to allow space for trailer drift. And finally, number 7. Never swing wide or cut the turn short.
Very good, Diesel. You got all 7 steps correct. Here's another intersection scenario. You have stopped at an intersection with stop signs for your direction of travel, and you want to go straight through. Traffic to your left and right does not stop. Even before you start through the intersection, do a visual search ahead, left, right, left, and ahead.
Visual search. Ahead, left, right, left, and ahead. Got it.
It is difficult to judge the speed of approaching vehicles. If you see a vehicle approaching from the right, for example, is that vehicle far enough away for you to safely drive across the road? Remember, objects like billboards, shrubbery, even fences can distort or cause blind spots. Eliminate them with proper search techniques before committing to enter an intersection.
How do you know how long it will take to safely cross the intersection?
Well, it'll depend on a number of things. Weather, visibility, how long is your rig? How heavy is your load? How much power does your rig have? How fast is the oncoming traffic traveling? These questions apply not only to going through the intersection, but making turns too.
This is all pretty sensible.
Yeah, as long as you keep safety your number one concern. It's the professional driver's job to manage and control the intersection.
Manage? Control? All of the other traffic? Like a traffic cop?
Not even close. By managing and controlling the intersection, I mean, and you should write this down, first, slow your speed. Second, shift to the proper gear. Then, do a visual search before entering the intersection. Finally, never shift in an intersection.
So, what if it's a multi-lane intersection?
You're responsible for identifying all traffic approaching or already in the intersection. That's your job.
Man, turning or crossing an intersection involves so much more than just waiting for the green light.
Right, Diesel. It's all about taking yourself through the intersection, and at the same time, making it safe for others who share that intersection with you. And remember, any light you did not see turn green may be about to turn red. So let's put all this to good use.
So use your signals and don't take anything for granted. Oh yeah, and check your mirrors and blind spots.
By doing the things we've discussed in basic intersection control, everybody can go home safely.
And not take a turn for the worse.
Oh, Diesel.